Shell Beach, circled in red, is in St. Bernard Parish, Louisiana, and is located on the Mississippi River Gulf outlet, the Mr. Go, near Lake Bourne, 18 miles east-southeast of Chalmette. Fort Proctor is located near Shell Beach. The Hurricane Katrina Memorial in Shell Beach stands as a tribute to the lives lost during Hurricane Katrina. Erected in 2006, this granite memorial lists the names of 163 individuals from St. Bernard Parish who perished during the storm. It is situated on the banks of the Mississippi River Gulf outlet, a waterway originally dug for commercial purposes in the 1960s. The memorial service serves as a poignant reminder of the devastation caused by the hurricane in one of the hardest hit areas. Each year on the anniversary of the storm, a remembrance ceremony is held at this solemn site. Additionally, a 13-foot high stainless steel lighted cross was dedicated at Shell Beach in 2006 as part of the remembrance of the storm. The memorial continues to honor those affected by this historic disaster, providing a place for reflection and commemoration. The rest of this video is flying around Shell Beach and seeing the beautiful homes and the multitude of slips and boats that are operated out of this area. This is a very remote area outside of the St. Bernard surge barrier, facing Lake Bourne and the Gulf, and ready to receive the full brunt of any hurricane that comes through the area. As we fly around and look at these homes, I'm going to read a message that was sent out by the St. Bernard Parish regarding the initial dedication of the memorial. This message was issued on July 25th, 2006, right before the dedication of the memorial. It says, "Crosses and monument at Shell Beach to be Hurricane Katrina Memorial to St. Bernard victims and will be dedicated on August 29th as part of a day-long remembrance of the storm's first anniversary. A 13-foot high by 7-foot wide stainless steel lighted cross and a stone monument inscribed with the names of 163 St. Bernard Parish residents who died in Hurricane Katrina will be dedicated at Shell Beach on August 29th as a memorial to victims as part of a day-long remembrance of the furious storm. At 10 a.m., a ceremony at Shell Beach in the eastern St. Bernard at the site of the Mississippi River Gulf outlet, which inundated so much of the parish, will be held to mark the one-year anniversary of Katrina, which flooded nearly all of the parish's 27,000 homes and resulted in the death of 163 people. The cross will be mounted in the Mr. Go, 4 to 6 feet from the shoreline where the highway ends. A stone monument with the names of the victims and those missing after the storm will be placed on land. Also, benches will be installed and the area will be beautified, officials said. The site is meant as a place for relatives and friends of victims, as well as other visitors, to gather for reflection in honor of those lost. Parish President Rodriguez said, "The Parish Council months ago endorsed the idea of a memorial. The cross and monument is being paid for by several businesses in the parish." Parish Council member Tony Mulroney, whose district the memorial will be placed in, and Rodriguez said they believe it is fitting to honor the victims in a special way. "This storm was an event we won't ever forget. It's a great idea to do this. We'll put a park there for people to visit," he said. Mulroney said he wanted the cross and memorial at Shell Beach because the area was where St. Bernard initially felt Katrina's impact, and he thought the cross should be placed in the Mississippi River Gulf outlet, the Mr. Go, because the ship channel was responsible for so much of the parish's flooding. This is true. The ship channel was supposed to be maintained at a certain width, and it was allowed to grow and grow and grow wider and wider and wider, allowing more fetch so that waves would topple the levees that were in place at the time. Also, Millerine said, "It's right for the memorial to be in the eastern St. Bernard because I want people to go through the parish, to go there, and they will see the destruction that was caused. They will see why we were putting this up." Today, 2024, 20 years later, most of that's been rebuilt. I'm sure at the time this memorial was erected, there was a lot of destruction and a lot of destroyed houses to see on the trip out to the site. The dedication ceremony will be part of a full day of events in St. Bernard Parish marking the storm's anniversary. A special Mass will be celebrated at 7 a.m. at Our Lady of Prompt Succor Church in Chalmette. A day of reflection breakfast will be held at 8:30 a.m. at St. Bernard Unified School, and a bell ringing ceremony in Liberty Plaza in front of the Civic Center, whose time hasn't been announced, will remember the victims and honor the parish's emergency responders who helped rescue thousands of victims during flooding. The bell ringing will be part of a project of the Business and Professional Women's Club of St. Bernard, the Kiwanis, the Rotary Club, and the Chamber of Commerce. They really went all out to commemorate the devastation that the storm caused. It is a moving sight. It is interesting to go out there, but it's amazing to see how it's been reconstructed. As you can see, there are just all these brand new houses there, less than 20 years old, because there was absolutely nothing there after the storm. That's the Mississippi River Gulf outlet facing north towards New Orleans. You just saw the part facing south towards the Gulf of Mexico. And on that part facing south, a few miles from here, there's a closure. There's a shell riprap that runs all the way across the Mr. Go, so that no vessel can utilize the Mr. Go any longer to go all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. I just found it amazing to see how many homes had been rebuilt and are willing to take the risk of a 20, 30-foot storm surge. I hope and pray that these houses are built strong enough to resist that force of nature, but that is a really strong force of nature to try to build a house. One last look at the cross, and as we go up, one last look at the Mr. Go, the Mississippi River Gulf outlet. Out in the left-hand side is Fort Proctor. You can barely see it where the end of the land is. That's the East Gloucester Canal. And this is coming back from the Fort Proctor and looking at some incredible houses that are built facing the most brutal part of Mother Nature you could in a hurricane. There's the Gloucester Canal, and slip after slip after slip of boats. Hopefully they get the boats out at least before the hurricane comes, because those slips will be torn up in a hurricane. I just don't see how they could manage to build a slip strong enough to resist hurricane forces. There it is, a memorial to those that died in Katrina.